how can we find freight in today's market? If you're watching, you are looking for some freight, you're looking for work, you're trying to figure out in trucking how are guys successful long term, who's getting the mailbox money, who are the guys who are just setting in for getting it. How can you be successful long term, especially in the trucking side, on the asset side? I'm gonna only speak to my experience, my 10 years experience on the asset side, and how I did it initially, finding the first few opportunities and then building off of that. Want to start off before we get into my tips of exactly who I would talk to and what strategies I would utilize is to give you a bonus tip right from the get-go. Making yourself as reputable as possible. Understanding that your reputation is everything. The first thing that companies do whenever they want to vet you and they want to understand whether or not you're somebody who can be successful and understand regulations, requirements, issues, and be able to handle issues consistently is they're going to vet your carrier 411. They're going to go on your Go Highway, your Blue Wire. They're going to audit all these things. If you don't know what those are, they're just carrier vetting systems that show me, hey, are you working out of an IP address that another company is also working out of? How are your tickets? Do you have any issues? Have you had any crazy accidents? Can I get background information on the accidents? We have all those tools today. Back then we didn't. So now most of these companies who want to work with you are going to do their due diligence, and you need to give them zero issues regarding this due diligence. If you're going to have a niche, for example, mine's Team Expedite. You don't want to give problems to a supply chain. You don't want one with the ones that I'm in. And those guys are really particular regarding every single email. And it's great. I'm happy with it because that's my standard. But for you, you have to realize that your niche is going to be based on what your standard is for your whatever company that you have. If you have an asset-based trucking company, if you have a logistics firm, my main focus is for guys who are just starting out to understand how I did it and take what you will from these strategies. As we're getting into finding freight initially, say for example, you already got the truck, focusing on building relationships with brokerages. Most guys are telling you brokers are terrible. We have terrible relationships with brokers, but I guarantee you the guys who are working and getting fed are not on social media talking to you about how good their relationship is and about how much money that they're making. They're not, they're working. As we pair up with freight brokers, you're going to see that these guys have opportunities that you would have never thought of, and you're going to start running with them. Yes, albeit they're going to take a piece of the pie. However, the wheels are turning and you're focusing on total volume. If you're just a one owner operator guy, I understand. Then it becomes more of a development of a numbers game. Find out where the niche is. I guarantee you from San Antonio to Dallas on a drive in from 9 to 5 p.m., I'm paying you pennies, guaranteed. And so if you already understand that, don't have high expectations. Understand where is the market now and how can I win in this market? If I can't win in this market, is there a different trailer type that I can focus on? Is there a lease purchase program that I can focus on? Is there a another program with another customer that I could focus on or different location? That is how people are successful in trucking. There are some super truckers out there that got a great opportunity and I applaud them and commend them. But I'm trying to speak to the guy who's just starting out, who's trying to figure out how to register his DAT login. These brokers are going to be the first gateway to actually having freight and transporting it, developing a reputation, being someone with being someone that can be on call at all times. That's what I was for 4 years before I even started working in a more direct relationship with my partners. I was working initially with some brokers who partnered up with me, and these brokers I still have them. They're good friends to this day. And they tell me, back when freight was good, they'd give me a call. They're up with me. They're trying to figure out the problem with me, and they're able to understand that they had to call rather than get a Samsara link. But that's a tangent story. I digress. Those brokers, as you continue to develop relationships, will help you out more often than not. And they'll also give you opportunity to make money while you're trying to find that direct opportunity. So make sure that you focus on it being a numbers game. These guys are there to make a piece of the pie, but they're also there to service you. So make sure those brokers are working for you if you're going to partner with them anyways, right? Make sure that they're understanding, I used to send a truck list out to 50 brokers, and all these guys were super hungry, guys who just started, and they're going to pair me up with whatever lanes that they possibly can, and I'm bidding against one against the other. That can happen in today's market, absolutely. Number two, building your network. As you're building your network and you're focused on developing with brokers and other customers, if you do have any direct relationships, it's always good to go out there, leave a card, no matter what. Say you're here, you're in your everybody in your backyard should be contacted, no matter what. You need to get used to getting yourself out there, understanding, hey, I'm AJG Andrew with AJG Transport. I currently have X amount of units, and I'm currently running Team Expedite Freight. I would love to partner up with you long term. I can be here whenever you need me. I can figure this out. I can do a lot of things that brokers would go and ask me for anyways. I'd love to be here and work with you directly. Those type of relationships that, you have just text me. I'll be here. That is going to go a long way with a lot of these shippers. And if you have that mentality, then you're on there, you're on Google trying to figure out where the trucks, you're on Google Maps trying to find loading docks, and you're trying to go and access those loading docks and talk to logistics guys who have been spoken to for, years and years and years by 30 different brokers from Ohio and Alaska, you name it. Instead, you have me here and to make sure that I can create a better service. That's how it's done. I did the same exact thing when I started my first direct in Kentucky, in Ohio, in Atlanta, going out there, having a conversation and saying, I understand there is no possible opportunity here. And sometimes there wasn't. But I'm here and I'm making sure that I shake your hand and you know who I am, you know who you're doing business with, and you can always depend on me. I'm going to move mountains. I'm going to be successful, whether it's with you, whether it's with another supply chain. That is the type of mentality that you'll have to be successful, and you'll find that freight over time. You'll find that niche that happens to those who seek. Number 3, whenever you're looking at direct work with shippers, I'm going to have a deep dive in regards to direct shippers in the future on a specific video. But say you do land one of these opportunities and you're looking for more, or you're looking for a different opportunity in other locations. With direct shippers, it's a magic word. At times you just have to consistently build relationships. But I will say, in my experience, what matters is what type of owner that you are. What matters is what type of drive that you show, what type of drive that you have. The difference is, whenever I've seen people come and try and take customers that were mine, or try and, have these conversations with manufacturers and shippers, is that most of the time, guys that already have experience understand that they're going to let the work and their company and their Blue Wire, all their information, speak for itself, not begging for work. They're going to focus on saying, if you give me this opportunity, I will not let you down. I'll focus on this. They're going to be honest to the point where they're extremely transparent with what's going on in their company. And you're going to see the guy who's prepared, who understands what a shipper is manufacturing, who's actually learning. Those guys are focused on the future and long-term success. And manufacturers want that. They want to be able to call on you for long periods of time and not just for one load. Guys who are desensitized by a lot of broker calls, they just want a breath of fresh air. And so you have to be that person that's showing you, I'm not just some guy who's behind a desk. We're focusing on the sale of creating the set of the sale with yourself. And so the authenticity piece is key. I think I've seen companies that are from Chicago that have a puppet CEO that is not working, or that is not helping the day to day. He's just kind of going out to meetings. I've seen guys who are authentic as hell and they have 10 trucks and they're just a family owned company trying to make it. Those are the guys that should get the work. And I want to make sure those guys are highlighted the most. And this is the type of conversation that you would have, stating your authenticity, understanding, whether or not you can service a company. And then lastly, saying that you have the adjustments, you have the control, especially if you're an asset-based trucking company. Again, I'll deep dive into into this in the future. That's the key 3 points when it comes to looking for new work from a basic foundational standpoint. So I hope this overall helps you. What strategies are you guys using? Is there something else going on that I haven't mentioned? Make sure that you put that in. What are your success stories? I want to hear these so that I can understand how I can be better in my pitches as well. This is all about collaboration. I'm focusing on logistics and preparing the future of the logistics world and trucking, because overall we're seeing more and more of the dinosaurs get out, kings being unseated in the trucking world. And it's because you have other great systems and technologically inclined employees that are actually coming in, stepping up, creating their own companies and being successful. And I implore you to help me, as well as I'm helping you, be a part of that wave. So if you do have any questions as well, subscribe, DM, comment. We'll be able to talk more, and I'll see you on the next one. Best of luck.